Visual aids, design and type.
Visual aids are things that you can look at, such as a film, model, map, or slides, to help you understand something or to remember information. Why use a visual aid?
Saves time. Highlights key points. Creates impact. Helps the presenter. Creates variety. Builds interest.
Types of visual aids.
Bar chart. Table. Pie chart. Flow chart. Diagram. Line graph. Plan. Picture graphic diagram or pictograph. Wave graph.
Illustrate things you can't say in words.
Spot check visuals.
Are spelling and grammar correct? Is lettering clear? Is the layout logical?
Are the colors compatible?
Does it communicate or distract?
Vocabulary.
Illustrate. To provide with visual features intended to explain or decorate. Diagram. A simplified drawing showing the appearance, structure, or workings of something. Layout. The way in which the parts of something such as the page of a book, a website, a garden or a building are arranged. Italics. Are most often used to emphasize certain words, to indicate that they are in a foreign language, or to set off the title of a literary or artistic work. Aspect. Is a particular part or feature of something. Color scheme. Is the choice of colors used in various artistic and design contexts. Transparent. Is the condition of being transparent or can be viewed using a slide projector. First glance. Means. Before having a chance to look at it carefully. Highlight. Means to draw special attention to. Variety. Is the quality or state of being different or diverse. Distracted. Unable to concentrate because of something that is unpleasant or causes you to worry. Compatible. Means, able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict. Impact. Is a marked effect or influence. Logical. Is characterized by or capable of clear, sound reasoning. Technical. Relating to a particular subject, art, or craft, or its techniques.
Dialogue.
I have a transparency here to illustrate how I organize informal feedback. I think the OHP is out of focus. Can you fix it? Sure. Okay, that looks better. Where did the pointer go? Well, never mind. I can just use my hand. At first glance, this system may look rather complicated, but it's actually very simple.
Do the different shapes mean types of files?
Actually, the shapes in the diagram represent organization within the file. And I would also like to draw your attention to the color coding of the shapes. The meaning of each color is related to the 3 situations I described before when informal feedback is given.
Tips for designing visuals.
Keep visuals simple and avoid overcrowding. Include only lines and numbers essential to making your point. Include only details that you discuss during your talk and be sure your visual supports your message. Use short, informative titles and labels. A short phrase is easier to understand than a single word. Use attractive, visible color schemes. Yellow lines, for example, are often difficult for the audience to see. Use standard abbreviations and acronyms. Define any technical terms that your audience may not know.
Tips for typefaces.
Select simple, readable typefaces. A good rule of thumb is to use a sans serif font, such as Helvetica, for visuals that will be projected on a screen. Select a sans serif font and stick with it. Use a different size, color or style. For example, bold or italic for stress or impact. Serif fonts, like Times New Roman or Palatino, tend to look fuzzy or difficult to perceive, indistinct or vague when projected. The most common problem with projected visuals is that the font size is simply too small for the audience to read. Tables with data, for example, should not be reproduced directly from a publication. Rather, they must be redesigned using a larger font size. Select a sans serif font and stick with it. Use a different size, color or style. For example, bold or italic for stress or impact. Use italics carefully as they are more difficult to read. Use a larger size or a different color on titles. Minimize texts when labeling graphics, charts, figures, etc. Make graphics communicate visually, not verbally.
Common errors.
Reading exactly what is on the screen. Listing the parts of a visual. Using visual aids in the wrong order. Projecting visuals carelessly. If you stand in the way of the projector's light beam, you are covering part of your visuals. And you should not turn your back on your audience either. Lighting a blank screen.
Useful expressions.
Introduce the visual aid.
This flowchart illustrates. In this photograph, I'd like you to note the. Okay. Let's take a look at. I have a transparency to show you. The first slide is. The second slide is. The next slide is. The final slide is.
Signpost the content.
Let's look at the data on how this product is. I would like to show you the actual figures for. First of all, let me brief you on where we stand today and where we expect to be in terms of.
Check with the audience.
Is that clear for everyone? Is that in focus? Can everybody see that?
Meaning of the visual.
This shows. This illustrates. This demonstrates. This refers to. This is a graph which shows. This is a diagram which shows. As you can see, this is. Here we can see.
Focusing attention.
I'd like to draw your attention to. One of the most important aspects of this is. At first glance it seems, but.
Role-play example.
This pie chart illustrates how each product, service or department contributes to the company revenue. Let's look at the efficiency figures as of the third quarter of this year. Now, let's move on to our advertising revenues from the U.S. newspaper. The vertical axis represents the revenues in billion US dollars. And the horizontal axis shows the fiscal year. Can everyone see that?
Yes, and the figures are looking good so far.
On this next visual, I'd like to draw your attention to the figures from 2018 to 2019. Online advertising proved its strength in the last 2 years.